So let's start class. So good morning, class. I'll be discussing attention. So this is our fourth topic. So attention. So what is attention? Attention is defined as a concentration of mental activity that allows you to take in a limited portion of the vast stream of information available from both your sensory world and your memory. So basically, from what I have mentioned last time, our brain has a limited capacity. So hindi lahat na nakikita natin sa paligid natin, doon sa stimulus natin, hindi lahat yun nakaka-capture natin. So we tend to focus on those details na nakaka-attract ng attention natin. Okay? So with regards to that, yun yung definition ni attention. So we have here the flow of the memory on how we'll be able to capture that specific stimulus na nakikita natin and how we process that information. So from the sensory processing, dito natin nakikita yung stimulus and then on how our sensory modes perceive and select that stimulus. So yun nga, from all the stimulus na nakikita natin, ano yung isa-select natin. And then from that selection, pupunta siya sa long-term memory or yung working memory natin. So, from the long-term memory, ma-identify natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng nakikita natin. Okay? So, kagaya rin ng discussion natin last time, di ba? Yung process on how we'll be able to, yung parts ng, stages ng perception. Ano ba yung stages ng perception? Ano yung stages ng perception? From our last meeting. Diba yun? So, bali, ito lang rin yung explanation doon. So, we select from the stimulus na nakikita natin, we organize, and then we interpret. Okay? Ito lang yung sinasabi nun. But in here, binanggit din kung paano natin nakaka-capture yung stimulus based on the long-term memory and the working memory. Okay? And then from that, how we will be responding for that specific selection na nakita natin. Kasi nga, for example, nag-drive kayo and then may patawid sa pedestrian lane. So from that instant na nakita mo na parang may tatawid, ano ba yung magiging reaction mo? So ihinto ka ba o magtutuloy-tuloy ka? So it will be depending on your long-term memory na pag ganito pa lang siya kalapit sa pedestrian lane, pwede ka pang magdire-diretso. But in reality, di ba, bawal talaga yun. So in Japan, if nakapunta na kayo, malapit pa lang sa pedestrian lane, automatically, mag-stop yung portion. Unlike in the Philippines, bubusin na ka pa dito. Nasa pedestrian lane ka na, dito, galit pa sa'yo yung driver, di ba? Most of the time. So ayun, it will be depending on your memory and working memory. As well as yung cultural, di ba yung last time, yung mga cultural aspects ng perception natin. Like in the Philippines nga, may nakita ka ng tatawid. But most of the Filipino drivers will still go. Even though meron ng tatawid. Unlike in other countries, yung mga disiplinadong countries, they will stop. Okay? So we have 5 types of attention. We have selective, focused, divided, sustained, and lack of attention. Tandaan niya, baka lumabas sa exam yan. Okay? So what is selective attention? It is the process of focusing on a particular object in the environment for a certain period of time. Tune out unimportant details and focus on what matters. So from the word itself, selective. From all the stimulus na nakikita natin, we just select kung ano yung gusto natin ipag-focus. Okay? And then dinidisregard natin yung mga unimportant details na hindi naman makakatulong sa atin. So factors in selection process. We have expectancy, salience, and value. So from this, ano yung ibig sabihin ng expectancy?
Ano kaya ibig sabihin ng expectancy? From our previous lesson, Idos, ano ibig sabihin ng expectancy? From our previous lesson, di ba? Diniscuss natin yan. Kasi ini-expect mo na may padating kang parcel. So, tama si Idos doon. So, salience. Visa, ano nun? Tama. So, nag-stand out among others. Malyari, anong ibig sabihin ng value? Ulit, marinig. Paano kasi, depending on this value, nag-focus ka nun. Um, for example, isa kang piloto and then magdi-descend ka na pababa for landing na. So the value is that you focus on the mga dials, yung mga control panel, and then yung runway, kung tama ba yung trajectory ng runway and so on. So you focus on the value na currently na ginagawa mo. Okay? So selective attention can be compared in a bottleneck theory. So we have a lot of stimulus, but in the end, we just focus on one or few information. Okay? So yun yung ano ng selective attention, the bottleneck theory. So from all the numerous sensory inputs, all the stimulus na nakikita natin, we just select and filter out those stimulus. And then we choose only one or few stimulus that we will be focusing on. Okay? And then we have two models of attention. We have the Broadbent's filter model and the Tradesman attenuation model. So what is Broadbent's filter model? In 1958, Broadbent proposed that physical characteristics of messages are used to select one message for further processing and that all others are lost. So, ibig sabihin daw, for example, sinabihan ka ng teacher mo, pakinggan mo lang yung sinasabi ko. So, there will be a high possibility na matatandaan mo yung sinabi ng prof mo, na tandaan yung sinasabi ko. Hindi mo papakinggan yung mga outside noise around you. So, yun yung sinasabi ni Broadbent, na meron daw tayong ganun na, even though, yung kagaya ng party effect, di ba? Cocktail party effect, di ba? Maingay doon sa surrounding mo, but still, naiintindihan mo yung sinasabi ng kausap mo. Kasi pinifilter out ni brain yung mga noises. Okay? So, in proving his theory, gumawa siya ng dichotic listening task. So, ano yung dichotic listening task? So, in his experiment, pinasuot ng earphone or headphone yung participant and then make two um, voice na or two message na binibigay each ear. So, different ear, merong different information na binibigay. Yung una, the meaning of life is, and the yellow dog cheese. So sabi ni Proctor or sabi ni Broadbent, mag-focus ka lang sa right ear mo. Sa narinig mo sa right ear mo. And then right after that, tinanong niya, ano yung narinig mo sa left ear mo? Hindi niya matandaan. Kasi we tend to focus on kung ano yung sinabi sa atin. Na doon ka lang makinig sa right ear. Okay? Hindi niya matandaan yung the yellow dog chase. Natandaan niya lang is the meaning of life is. However, sa theory naman or model ni Tradesman, which is the Tradesman attenuation model, in 1964 agrees with Broadbent's theory of an early bottleneck filter. However, the difference is that Tradesman's filter attenuates rather than eliminates the unattended material. So basically, based on the logic na naririnig natin, pinifilter out lang natin yung hindi mga logical na sinasabi. For example, still the dichotic listening task. Ginawa pa rin yun ni Trainsman. So in his experiment, ayan, kagaya rito, I saw the girl furniture over. We made that bird green jumping fee. So, di ba parang illogical yung mga statements. So, upon asking the participants, ang naalala ng participant na narinig niya is that I saw the girl jumping over. So in our memory or in our brain, we tend to organize information. Hindi daw natin ini-eliminate yung mga information na narinig natin. Kumbaga, yung brain natin has a function to organize things. Like this, di ba? Pinag-combine niya yung I saw the girl jumping over. Yung furniture eliminate niya. I-include niya yung jumping. Kasi alam naman natin kung ano yung tamang grammar or construction ng sentence. Kaya yun yung natandaan niya ng participants. Okay? So the next type of attention is focused attention. So focused attention is the brain's ability to concentrate its attention on a target stimulus for any period of time and is not distracted by the others which can be considered as noise. Yun nga, you focus on, kunwari nga, yung party effect, you focus on the things na sinasabi ng kausap mo rather than pinapakinggan mo yung noise on your environment. So yan, example nga, yun, nakipag-usap ka, ang daming tao, you disregard all the noise na narinig mo, just focus on the kausap mo. For example, di ba sa airport, sobrang busy. And then, nasa cellphone ka lang, di ba, pag nag-gabiyahe tayo, cellphone ka pa nakikita yung flight, and then marami pa lakad sa akin. Di ba, the tendency is that we focus on our cellphone, not the bypassers. Okay? So ayun, we focus attention, for example, isa kang piloto, you focus on that specific runway kasi pababa ka na. You focus on the controls, the trajectory ng paglanding mo and so on. In a surgery, you focus on what you do. Di pwedeng, yun nga, di ba kaya may taga-ilaw, may taga-abot ng scalpel, di ba sa Korean drama, mess. Paabot ng ganito, paabot ng ganyan. Kasi dapat yung attention mo nandun lang sa ino-opera mo. Kasi isang blink of an eye mo, mali ka ng hiwa. Medical malpractice na yon. Maaring mamatay yung pasyente. So you focus on that specific thing na ginagawa. Okay? Kaya marami tayong, di ba, assistant pagka nag-o-opera yung doctor. So factors in focus attention, we have proximity, separation, and background noise. So proximity means the distance between the one you're talking with. For example, yun nga, minsan hindi ko marinig, palalawin pa ako kasi malayo yung distance natin. For example, ano yung hindi ko masyado nakaka-prefer yung sinasabi. So attention ko is nawawala. Kasi hindi ko hingin ng aircon. Okay, good sa so, one example ng proximity. Separation, ayun, ano kayo ng, ba yun, yung hindi kayo magkaharap. So, for example, one good example is yung sa mga teller, kunwari dito sa baba, di ba may harap na glass? Minsan hindi pa rin yung sinasabi lang, nasa harap. So, that is one form of separation. Di ba yung mga sa kulungan, meron pa silang parang telephone, di ba? Para marinig niya kung ano yung sinasabi nung nandoon sa kabilang side. So, similar to some improvements na ginagawa natin na naglalagay ng mic and speaker. Di ba? And the background noise. So, nadidistract daw tayo sa background noise. So, kunwari, nag-review tayo. There are people na konting kaluskus lang or ingay, nawawala na yung attention nila pag nagre-review sila. So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin ng background noise. So, from the environment and others. So, next, we have the divided attention. So, divided attention has a higher level skill where you have to perform 2 or more tasks at the same time. And the attention is required for the performance of both or all the tasks. So, example ng divided attention? In your daily life, ano yung example ng divided attention? Any guess? Walang mali. Sige. Example ng divided attention. Habang kumakain tapos, ayun, habang kumakain, alam mo ang baby. So we tend to, pag tayo susubukan mo na attention mo rin, naman yung attention. But, and then, nag-drive ka, and then post ka sa cellphone. Nag-drive ka. Kaya bawal na bawal, text habang nag-drive. Kasi iniiwasan natin yung divided attention. Kasi may higher risk if, yun nga, divided yung attention. Kasi in the blink of an eye, di ba? Nag-test ka bigla, nabunggo ka na pala. So, in order for us to minimize those divided attention, di ba, gumamit tayo ng cognitive ergonomics on how we will be able to design that one na may iwasan natin yung divided attention. So, sa mga car natin, ano yung integrate para maiwasan yung divided attention? Sa mga kotse natin, ano yung ginawa natin improvement para maiwasan yung divided attention? Yung example ko na kanina eh. Di ba, kunwari nagte-text ka or may katawagan ka, imbis na hawak mo, merong speaker yung sa cellphone, connected na yung cellphone mo dun sa car. So you just need to click a button on your car na nasa steering wheel, eh hindi na ma-lolos yung attention mo dun sa pagdadrive mo. Okay? So, kagaya ng mga po kayo ka rin, isang application niya rin yun. Imbis na yung attention mo will be 2, di ba may 2 hands ka for example, and yung task is for you to press a button. Para wala kang divided attention and may higher risk na maputol yung kamay mo pag yung isang kamay mo ay nandito. So, we design as an industrial engineer na yung 2 hands natin will work and ipe-press yung button na sabay. Hindi gagana yung machine pag hindi natin sabay na pinindot yung button. So, there will be lesser risk or matatanggal natin yung risk talaga na pagkapagod ng kamay. Parang ganun. Okay? Yan yan. Nagsiselfone ka while watching Netflix. Di ba na minsan nafe-feel natin na, ay, ano na nangyari? Kasi nga na-divide yung attention natin. Nag-focus tayo dun sa nakita natin sa Facebook and then nawala na tayo ng attention dun sa pinanonood natin. Okay? And while doing some conversation and you're working, di ba? Minsan, huwag mo na akong guluhin, may ginagawa pa ako. Huwag mo na akong kausapin muna kasi may ginagawa pa ako. Kasi nawawala yung attention ko doon sa ginagawa ko sa laptop ko. Okay? Yan, pag-aalaga ng nanay and then nag-work. Yan, kagaya ng sinabi ni Borlongan. So, performance on at least one of the tasks is likely to be adversely affected because the person is trying to accomplish more than one task. So, nakakompromise. Kagaya ng ibang estudyante na hindi nakikinig minsan sa ibang lesson, di ba? Cellphone ng cellphone, so hindi na naintindihan yung lesson. Ba? So, recommendations. So, we have several recommendations on how we'll be able to minimize those risks and then to enable for us to focus on specific attention. So, parang may pinagpo-focus na lang tayo ng isang activity. So, minimize the number of input information channels. Yun nga, imbes na may 3 kang ginagawa or 2 kang ginagawa, just focus on one thing. Okay? Reduce the level of difficulty of the task. Reduce the similarity of the task in terms of demands on input channels, mental processing, and output requirements. So sa pangalawa, so yun, one good example nga yung sa car. Imbes na mag-reach ng hand si driver doon sa mga control panel, nilagay natin sa steering wheel yung mga button. Diba? Naiwasan na natin mag-reach and then maybe there might be some scenario na mangyari pag nag-reach pa tayo ng ganito, ganyan. Di ba may mga ibang driver na pag may passenger seat, pwede pa pindot mo naman yung ganito, ganyan, lalo na pag bagong driver. Kasi nga, hindi pa sila sanay doon sa ginagawa nila. Okay? And to reduce that, we reduce the difficulty of the task. We make things easier as an IE, di ba? Reduce the similarity of the task in terms of demands on input channels, mental processing, and output requirements. So we tend to minimize the mental workload of a person or the user. The fourth one is the sustained attention. So sustained attention is also known as the vigilance. It involves a situation in which an individual must watch for a signal of interest over a relatively long period of time. Di ba pag long period of time tayo, for example, operator ka ng CCTV, there will be chances na aantukin ka. So, as an industrial engineer, ano yung dapat gawin natin para kung meron palang madedetect na, kunwari, magnanakaw, ano ba dapat mag-appear doon sa CCTV natin? So, di ba yung mga bagong CCTV natin, kung meron kayong, di ba yun na camera? Ayun, Xiaomi na mga, parang CCTV sa loob ng bahay, di ba? So, we have, ano kasi, 3 na ganun. So, if may magdadaan sa harap ng bahay namin, tutunog yun. Mag-a-alert yun sa mami ko na, ay, may dumaan. So, as an industrial engineer, imbes na static lang yung nakikita ng operator sa CCTV, yung mga monitor, why not put yung sound? Or mag-put ka na kunwari boxes na ganito na parang may intruder, possibly nag-intrude sa facilities natin or establishment. So, imbes na static na nakita natin puro mukha lang na may dumadaan, may mga tao, why not lagyan natin ng sound or warning? Okay? Continuously maintain focus on one task and or concentrate on an activity for prolonged period of time without getting distracted. So yeah, for the QA/QC in manufacturing, di ba, continuously sila nag-check ng produkto. Okay? One thing na pwede natin i-integrate is yung mga vision camera. So, yun nga, kagaya ng na-mention ko, in some of the companies, they're already integrating the vision camera. So, yung vision camera, hindi din naman, nag-sim na kayo no? O hindi pa. So, hopefully next term, dumating na yung robot natin. So, all of the robot na in-acquire natin, lahat yun may vision camera. So, makakapag-simulate kayo doon na, kunwari, pag kulay red, ibig sabihin yun reject. So, ipuput yun yung robot dito. And then, pag green, ibig sabihin yun good product. So, hopefully, dumating na yung robot for next term, hopefully this year, para magamit nyo yung application. So, we bought yun, yung robot na may conveyor and other modules. Ano? Alam ko, yes, kasi may PO na yun. Hindi lang natin alam kung gaano katagal kasi galing China yung mga robot. And kung magbabayad agad yung mapuwa, syempre kailangan mo naman mapuwa ng 50% and then hindi natin alam kung kailan yun darating. But on our end, naka-choose na kami ng vendor. Okay? Also, yung mga equipment natin sa Ergo, yung mga hindi gumagana, papalitan na rin. Okay? Another example is that controller during war. Tinitignan or yung exclusive economic zone. Di ba, in the Philippines, we're detecting Chinese vessels. Paano ginagawa natin? Wala nang. We're just reporting na may pumuntang Chinese vessel in the Philippines. But in other countries, pag may na-detect silang intruders sa body of waters nila, sa exclusive economic zone nila, they might hit that one. Di ba yung Vietnam, kung binobomba ng China sila ng water gun, binobomba rin nila ng water gun. Medyo fierce ang Vietnam compared to the Philippines, di ba? Gumaganti sila. Pilipinas, nagpapa-appeal lang, di ba, sa tinira tayo ng water gun. So, in here, yun nga, nakikita nila ng controller kung meron ng intruders around the area. Okay? So, ano yun, one example ng sustained attention. For now, yun nga, kagaya ng sinabi ko, there are some advancement na if they reach our C, merong IoT or AI technology na magta-transmit na lang ng data sa command center. Okay? Yan, yung CCTV operator, kagaya ng sinabi ko, hindi naman lahat, ang dami ng monitor na yan, paano makaka-capture or makikita agad-agad ni CCTV operator yung ano, nangyayari, di ba? So, recommendations. Rotate the workers every 30 minutes or so sa manufacturing, specifically yung dati kong planta, ito yung in-implement ko. Kasi sa isang makina, sa isang makina, parang minsan may dalawang operator or pinagpapalit ko yung, so kunwari nakasend ka ngayon oras ito sa machine A, may machine B rin, pinagpapalit ko yun ng magkaibang produkto para hindi sila nabuboard doon sa ginagawa nila. Okay? So maybe hindi 30 minutes yun eh, parang half shift nila, nagpapalit sila ng machine. Kasi nakita namin na if prolong yung exposure ng workers doon sa ginagawa nila, there might be a possibility na mabuboard sila. And then, wala lang, kuha na ng kuha. Kasi ako pag nagta-time study ako sa CCTV ako tumitingin para hindi nila alam na may nag-i-study. Okay? Di ba sa work study measurement natin, parang isa yung sa key things na dapat na ano natin na parang hindi nila maramdaman na pinag-aaralan natin sila. Okay? Kasi as an IE sa manufacturing, tayo talaga nagbibigay ng number of production worker na dapat lang na meron sa company. So ang ginagawa ko para hindi ako masisi, sa CCTV ako tumitingin. Kasi alam na, bumababa na naman yung industrial engineer natin. Dapat bagalan natin yung trabaho. Di ba? Kasi pag nakita ka nila doon, magbabagal yan. Kasi pag binilisan nila, ay kaya pa na nilang gawin yung ganitong cycle time sa isang produkto. So that there will be variability and bias. Kaya ang ginagawa ko sa CCTV ako talaga tumitingin. Kasi binigyan ko nila nagta-time-time. Di ba? Kasi pag nabawasan sila ng tao, mas mahirapan. Di ba yun naman lagi ang thinking? Di ba? Gusto lagi ng production supervisor, marami akong tao. But in our view, as a process engineer or industrial engineer sa company, siyempre susunod tayo kay boss. Tama ba yung number ng tao dito? Lagi gaya yung mga boss. Tama ba yung number ng tao dito? Para sobrang daming tao. Siyempre, gusto makatipid ng company. Kaya nga tayo hinire para ma-optimize yung process. Hindi naman porket nagtanggal tayo ng tao is, yun nga, para lang tayo sa management. It is to optimize the process. Okay? To improve the process. Okay? Increase the intensity of incoming signal. Yun nga, magsisend ka ng mga warning message or sounds and other prompt para ma-call out yung operator, for example. Provide periodic feedback on performance to the workers. So yun nga. Kaya namin naisip na magpalit ng machine yung worker is that marami kaming reklamo sa QA and customer reklamo ng customer complaint. So we do an experiment na pag pinagpalit ba natin to pagkatapos ng shift na for example after 4 hours magpapalit ka ng machine na ini-inspect or na mga produkto na ini-inspect, mag-i-improve ba yung quality natin? So in our experiments, na-prove namin yung hypothesis namin na tama. So yun yung ginawang practice ni company. So as an IE, dapat meron kayong prerogative na gano'n. Kaya natin inaaral yung mga ganito. Kasi yun yung expertise natin. Not only in optimizing the process, but also in, yun nga, yung cognitive ergonomics. Yung cognitive capacity ni worker. Dapat nakikita na natin yun. Okay? Not only on the physical aspects, but din pa rin yun. Specifically, if yung mga tables and chairs nyo hindi nagmamatch sa height requirement. Kaya nga tayo naglalagay ng height requirement, di ba? sa mga application. Specifically, pagka yung task nila is meron ka ng standard na mga height ng mga table. Kasi it will cause, ano yun, sa ergo 1, it will cause strain, fatigue, di ba? And eventually, it will cause MSD. That will affect the production ng mga produkto natin. Uncomfortable na sila sa ginagawa nila. The tendency is that tataas yung mental workload nila, mawawala yung attention nila sa ginagawa nila, tataas yung rejection natin or hindi nila madedetect kung may reject ba yung produkto natin. Ina-handle nila. Okay? So, kaya importante, babalik ko pala, kaya importante na tinatanong natin regularly yung empleyado natin na komportable ba kayo sa ginagawa nyo? Ano yung possibly na nakakapagod dun sa process? That's why we do Rola and Reba. Nag-Rola and Reba kayo, di ba? So that's why we do Rola and Reba. Enable for us to properly assess ano ba tamang distance. Saan ba dapat nakatayo si worker? Dapat ba? That's why we have timing sa production. We measure all things para maging comfortable and productive si worker. Okay? Emphasize the importance of the monitoring tasks and consequences of misses. Yan nga. Kaya tayo may QA and QC sa production. So we monitor those people kasi hindi naman talaga natin maiiwasan yung mga rejection sa company, sa production. So kaya tayo laging may mga QC, QA, may tayo, random sampling tayo every, for example, 1 hour, pupunta si QA para i-check yung ginagawa mo kung tama. So if may nakita sila doong non-compliance, need mo i-check yung buong lahat. Kasi pag, especially yung dati kong company, si Selecta, kunwari, Selecta, lalagyan ng Selecta. Pag ang order, avocado, nahaluan mamaya ng strawberry, yung bili mo, in-expect mong avocado pero strawberry yung loob. Ano mangyayari, di ba? Magkakaroon ka ng customer ko. Nangyayari yun. Kaya, di ba, napansin nyo merong mga Selecta na na-clear yung ilalim. Kasi yun yung pinakamalaking talaga ng compliance. Nangyari sa amin yun isang beses. Nahalo yung label, may isang label na nahalo dun sa Siyempre, nagreklamo yung customer. Hindi naman yung binili kong flavor, ba't ganyan nakalagay dito? Okay? So, malaking effect nung sa company. Okay? Kaya sobrang higpit namin sa QA and QC. Lagi kami may random sampling. Both inline and to sa package. Yung napak na for distribution, for delivery. Provide optimal environmental conditions for the workers. Yun nga, kagaya nung na-discuss naman na sa inyo sa Ergo 1, we give them the right temperature, the right height of the table, kung ilang oras ba or minuto dapat yung natin, yung break time. Di ba? If mas tedious or mas exhausted yung ginagawang operation, dapat mas tagal yung break time, di ba? Okay? So the last type of attention is lack of attention or boredom. So not concentrating on the task. Hindi ka nakakapag-concentrate na sa binigay sa yung task. Diminished state of readiness to perform the task. Boredom is the state of being weary and restless due to lack of interest. Di ba, pag nagtrabaho ko yung mga experience yun, para doon ba ako sa trabaho na yun? Because there will be some point na ma-feel nyo, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? Parang nakakatamad na naman ginagawa ko. So, it is one of the factors kung bakit lumilipat yung empleyado sa other industry or other company. Kasi naboboard ako sa ginagawa. Parang hindi ko naman interest to eh. So, kaya ngayon iba, diba? Yung iba, nag-doktor, nag-doktor or nag-engineer. Pero ang passion nila is duko. Even though engineer na sila, nagiging chef sila. Because upon experiencing yung trabaho kunwari, as a civil engineer, ayoko pala sa mainit. Ayoko pala napupunta ng site para mas gusto ko na lang magluto-luto sa magtayo ng sarili kong restaurant, for example. So, yun din yung parang dito, sa boredom and lack of attention. Okay? On how we feel on a specific task na ginagawa natin. And if, yun nga, lacks our interest, nag-classify siya as lack of attention or boredom. Factors leading to boredom: short cycle times, low requirements for body movements. So basically, hindi porket maliit yung cycle times mo, mag-focus na yung attention mo doon. Low requirements for body movements. Specifically, pagka lagi ka lang nakaupo. Kaya nga di ba sa other countries, adjustable yung table nila na pwede kang tumayo, pwede kang umupo. Kasi nga, first, MST. Second, yung cognitive, naboboard ka. Kasi laging yun lang eh. Yung ginagawa ko, lagi ka na nakaupo and typing. So, yun nga, as an IE, we propose yun na aangat, di ba? Nababago yung position ng table. Okay? Warm environment. Pag mainit, di ba? Parang hindi ka naman na maayos. Di ba sa mock rooms in Mapua? Kahit ako nabibisis, sobrang init. Lalo sa third floor, di ba? May mga, doon? May mga classroom na sobrang init, tapos walang mga blinds kasi silaw ka. So, dito medyo madilim, di ba? So, there will be chances na baka antokin si student. So, Mapua should keep on checking and keep on mind if talaga bang for students yung mga design ng classroom. Kasi yun din yung comment. For all schools sa accreditation, Wi-Fi, aircon, yun yung classroom environment. So, need i-improve. For me rin naman, need talaga i-improve. Kasi yung other Mapua schools, ang gaganda, tapos na yung dahil sa May, di ba? So, yun. The aircons, the blinds, and the color of the room. Talagang may factor yan. Based on physical ergonomics, di ba? Pati mga kulay illuminants. Dapat, kasi kinoconsult nila yan sa IE. Lack of contact with coworkers. Yun, kagaya na nangyayari sa akin. Nagtataba ako sa Taiwan. Hindi ako magaling mag-Mandarin. So, na-bored talaga ako. And the tendency, bumalik na lang ako sa Pilipinas. Bumalik na lang ako para magturo. Kasi na-bored talaga ako kasi wala akong kausap buong araw, 8 hours. Kasi hindi sila magaling masyadong mag-English. Hindi rin ako magaling mag-Mandarin. So, na-experience ko yun. Low motivation. Kaya di ba sa mga company, pag na-hit mo yung quota, after nung ma-hit mo yung quota, pag nakapag-produce ka pa ng mas marami, meron kang incentives. So, yun yun. So, kaya tayo may incentives sa mga companies, even in school, kaya tayo may bonus. Kasi nakapag-motivate yun sa atin. Diba? Low lighting levels in the workplace. Yun nga, pag mahina yung illuminance or luminance ng mga ilaw, parang hinihila ka na ng kama mo. Diba? Sa kwarto natin, gusto natin lagi. Medyo madilim. Kasi yun yung optimal setup para magpahinga. And if hindi tama yung design ng workplace mo, for example, in manufacturing or setup sa classroom, there will be a high chance na maboboard ka. And the tendency is that mawala yung attention mo dun sa dapat na pinagtutuunan mo ng pansin. Okay? So, this is the last part. So, visual spatial attention. I think 20 slides pa. Oras na. Have time pa. Visual spatial attention is a form of visual attention that involves directing attention to a location in space. Yun, mamaya ko na lang explain again. Selectively process visual information through prioritization of an area within the visual field. So, for example, yun nga, nag-drive ka, and then yung lagi kong example, nakakita ka ng symbol or traffic sign, we tend to focus on the visual field, nakikita natin yung daan, and then suddenly, mapupuka dapat nung traffic sign yung icon or symbol. So, Yun yung detecting from all the stimulus na nakikita natin, na-detect natin na dapat tayo may ma-detect or dapat natin malaman kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng symbol na yun. Okay? Visual search. The person must find a target in the visual display that has numerous distractors. Ang daming distractor, may kotse rito, yung daan, yung mga puno, yung scenery, but still, dapat mag-stand out yung icon na yun. Okay? Kaya, di ba, in some countries or some places, parang may blinker pa or may ilaw yung specific na icon na yun. It is to highlight na dapat tumingin ka doon. Okay? Kaya nga may reflector yung mga, ano natin, di ba, traffic signs paggabi. Kasi pag nag-reflect yung ilaw natin, para napupunta yung attention natin doon. Di ba? Pag nailawan siya, parang yun, mag-illuminate siya. And we tend to focus on that specific area. Sa pag-check ng baggage natin, there are many distractors. But our goal is to find yung mga contraband, yung mga dangerous na, yun, mga kutsilyo ba rin, meron ba dyan? May bomba ba dyan? So, we're training those operator on how we'll be able to detect those things. Pag ganito yung shape and parang hollow, baka hit yon, hit or miss. Ano ba yon sa ako atang tuturo nun. Signal detection theory. Ako atang tuturo. Or ano yun sa ODE. So signal detection theory. So pag ano natin signal detection theory, you'll be able to know, pero para pahabayaw lang dito eh. Parang you will be able to know merong for may quadrangle and then hit miss pa and then yung ano lang siya para hit miss and then fail and accepted and rejected parang ganun. I'll be discussing that further sa next coming ano na lang, next coming lessons. But yun, um, there are one scenario during the time na merong conflict si Iran and US. There are one incident na they're detecting kung ano ba klaseng aircraft yung paparating towards doon sa warship ni USA. And then, to cut the story short, tinira yon ni US. Kaya nagalit na galit yung Iran. Di alam ni Iran, ay ni US na passenger aircraft yun. So, the result is that pinatamatay lahat ng passenger ng aircraft na yun. So, yun yung one example ng signal detection theory. So, there should be a factors and may probability pa yun eh na ano yung pinagkaiba ng ibon sa airplane pag na-detect natin sa sensor natin. So, yun yung pinaka-big mistake na ginawa ng US during that time. Kaya lalo nagalit yung Iran sa kanila. Kagaya rito, if the operator failed to detect na may bomba pala doon sa bag, di ba, ang laki ng consequence, no? Maaring sumabog yung aeroplano, and so on, maraming mamatay. So talagang crucial yung detection sa bags. For radiologists, they are trained to read yung mga results ng mga x-rays, yung mga x-rays sa leeg, sa chest, and other parts of the body. Kaya pinag-aaralan nila ito ng ilang taon. Kasi in a normal people like us na hindi naman radiologist or doctor, hindi natin agad makikita kung ano ba yung problem doon. For example, di ba, usually mga benign, possibly benign na mga tumor, mga radiologists, they has the capability and the doctors have the capability to know kung yung yung mass or tumor nakita or any bukol na nakita sa atin is benign ba or malignant. And then if hindi sila sigurado, they do biopsy. Okay? So from that, yung mga 2D echo ngayon, if familiar kayo with that, dati wala yung Doppler. Doppler meaning nun yung kulay. So parang may gradient na the more na kunwari red yung area na yon, possibly may something doon. So because of the, yun nga, advancement in our technology, medyo napapadali na rin yung buhay ng mga radiologists. And also may iwasan natin yung miss natin. Yung kunwari, wala naman palang bukol na gano'n. Bigla mong pinabiopsy, bigla mong pina-offer. Yung pala, hindi naman pala bukol na something. So, ayun, yun yung mga improvements natin. Your task is to locate the ball pen. Di ba, unang-unang pumapasok sa isip natin, ano ba yung shape ng ball pen? Yun yung una natin iniisip, ano ba yung shape ng ball pen? Dapat yun yung makita ko. Yun yung primary identification ng ball pen. Inisip na natin, ganito yung shape ng ball pen. Ito yung hahanapin ko dito. So yun yung one example na din na visual search. For example nga, yung bilog, kunwari sa mga x-ray, kunwari thyroid scan, may mga pabilog na ganito, na hollow. It means possibly bukol yun. Okay? Pag hindi naman siya hollow, or parang ano siya, yung may white na ganon, it means ano lang siya, taba or laman. Okay? Same dito, pinahanap ka, nasa ba yung ballpen ko? Nasa na yung ballpen ko? Diba? Usually sinasabayan na natin. Maghanap ka kasi. So, in us, we visualize kung may nakita ba tayong ganitong shape. If wala tayong nakita ng ganyan shape, magpapanik na tayo. Kunwari, nasan ba yung ballpen ko? Ganyan. Okay? So, yun yung unang pumapasok sa isip natin. Upon looking for something, we visualize kung ano yung itsura niya. Okay? Dwell time. It is the actual length of time that a person's visual attention is fixated on the stimulus or area of interest. It is also known as the fixation time na makikita nyo sa eye tracker. Okay? Ito na yung some application ng eye tracker. Okay? Eye tracking device maps out regions on the areas of interest, AOI, and use fixations and time to more precisely determine where people are looking and what they are potentially perceiving. So, gaya na na-mention ko, if yung area or area of interest, for example, ano ba yung area of interest? Here, pwede natin i-define na area interest 1, area interest 2, and area interest 3. Saan ba unang tumitingin si participant? Dito ba o dito? Or dito ba or dito? So, in eye tracking study, we'll be able to find out kung saan siya most nagpipixate and saan siya unang nagpixate. Or saan siya pinakamatagal nagpixate. Kung saan siya matagal nag-focus ng attention na yung mata niya. Okay? And then from that, we'll be able to determine na ay pagka pala merong visual stimulus from the usual or traditional na mga words lang, mas naiintindihan ni participants yung binabasa niya. In relations to na may relationship yung image doon sa text. Okay? So, yun yung mga uses ng eye tracking. So, typical fixation is 200 to 500 milliseconds. Longer dwell times, it means less legible displays, less familiar words, more difficult text, unusual objects, and out of context. Di ba pag minsan pag hindi natin masyadong naiintindihan kung ano yung nakikita natin, we tend to focus our eyes on it, our attention on it. Mas matagal natin hindi natin alam to, ano kaya itong nakikita ko na to? So the tendency is, ang tagal kong titignan siya. Unlike yung mga traffic sign, in a split of a seconds, alam na natin yung meaning niya. So dapat, mabilis lang yung fixation time natin doon. And balik agad tayo doon sa ginagawa natin, which is driving. Yun yung use ng eye tracking for able to us to identify if efficient ba yung design natin. Na yung design ba natin easily mapaperceive ni user na stop or keep right or turn left. Diba? So, yun yung use na eye tracking. Kaya tayo nag-eye tracker first para efficient yung design natin. malas yung error no pinipresent nating stimulus. Okay? Frequency of target. People are more accurate in identifying a target if it appears frequently. Na-upload ko na to sa ano? Sa BB. If, yun nga, sinasabi rito na if nag-appear siya, so ayan, di ba some charts, specifically yung mga medical records or medical charts or results, pag nakakita kayo nun, meron siyang different na different figures, pero same meaning lang siya na piniperceive. So from those meaning ng mga figures, pag na-validate mo siya, dito sa unang picture may ganito. Sa mga pangalawang picture may ganito. Sa pangatlong picture may ganito. It means na-check mo na yung tatlong criteria. So if na-check mo na yung those criteria, it means there are a high possibility na less lang yung mistake mo, na magkakaroon ka ng mistake. Okay? So, two stimulus variables. We have the isolated feature or the combined feature effect, and the feature present and feature absent effect. So isolated feature or combined feature effect. So si Tradesmans and Galada in 1980, they stated that if the target differed from the irrelevant items in the display with respect to a simple feature such as color, observers could quickly detect the target. So in this example, so we have part A. Look at these two figures. In each case, search for a blue X. Notice whether you take about the same amount of time on these two tasks. So basically, dapat almost same yung fixation time nyo on or yung detection time nyo. Kasi among A1 and A2, nag-stand out si blue X. Okay? However, in this example, pinapahanap sa'yo ulit yung blue X. Di ba, mas mahirap na siyang i-detect. Kasi merong below, ay merong O and then meron ng X na blue. So you will be having a hard time detecting those blue X. Okay? So it means daw from the definition na if there are several colors and yun nga, types of things na meron dun sa stimulus mo, mas mahirap siyang i-detect. Unlike na two colors lang and for example, yung nandito sa unang example, isa lang yung blue X. Easily, we can identify nasan yung blue X. However, in this type of stimulus, meron ng O na blue red. So we're having a hard time detecting that specific blue X. Okay? So for a feature present, feature absent effect, cognitive processes handle positive information better than negative information. Positive means that the picture is present, whereas negative means that a feature is missing. So in this example, ano yung mas madaling ma-detect? Nakakaiba. A. Kasi nag-stand out siya agad. Unlike here, natitignan mo pa isa-isa, meron ba siyang guhit? So in designing things, or kung gusto natin na focus agad yung attention for that specific thing, dapat ganito tayo mag-design. Okay? Not like this. Na papahirapan mo muna si user bago mo makita yung gusto mo ipakita. Okay? Yun yung logic nito. So we have visual attention. Distribution of spatial attention, we have the spotlight, zoom lens, and gradient metaphor. So sa spotlight daw, so our eyes daw is parang spotlight na nagpo-focus daw siya sa isang area or isang, yun nga, for example, yung kagaya mga example ko kanina, you focus on the person that you're talking with. Or the stimulus na nakikita mo lang, focus ko lang sa isang area. Okay? The focus of attention is analogous to the beam of spotlight. Okay? The zoom lens metaphor. Attentional focus is variable in size, can narrow or widen the focus of attention. Inverse relationship between the size of the focus and efficiency of processing. So our eyes naman is capable na, yan, kunwari, yan. Pinapokus ko yung lahat ng nakikita ko. And then, pwede din tayo mag-focus. Kunwari, kay Barbain. Di ba? Parang yung eyes natin, pwede natin i-expand na, lahat ng nakikita ko. And then, suddenly, i-focus ko kay Santa. So, yun yung sinasabi ni zoom lens metaphor, that our eyes is capable of doing zoom in and zoom out. Di ba lahat naman ng mga digital camera natin, yung mga camera sa cellphone, ano yan, yung lahat ng model niyan is from our eyes. Okay? Kaya nga may 0.5, may 1, and then may zoom. Yun din naman nakikita ng mata natin eh. Di ba? We can see here, kunwari 0.5. Lahat yan gusto natin makita. And then 1 kung ito lang. And then 0.5, yung focus kunwari ito lang. Di ba? We have different levels of focus. And then we have the last slide, which is the gradient model. It is concentrated resources in the center of focus, and resources decrease in a continuous fashion way from the center. As the separation between the target location and the distractor increases, the amount of attention allocated to the distraction will also decrease. So yun lang, that we focus more on the center, or kung yun, kunwari nga, ito ang center ko, ito yung gusto ko yung pag-focus ng attention. Di ba parang may nagkakaroon na tayo ng blind spot? We just focus on this specific part, and then this to, mas nakikita pa rin natin compared dito. So yan lang ibig sabihin ng gradient model. With that, any question about our lesson today? So none. So let's proceed doon sa laboratory experiment nyo. And then around 10, I'll go out kasi results ng accreditation namin. Okay? So yung stimulus nyo, pinapaalala ko next week. Dapat meron na kayong So Monday yung quiz nyo Identification, enumeration, and yes. Hindi lang kayo dun sa at ayoko na nag-cheat Mas okay na mag-review kayo, mababa yung scores nyo. Hindi na mag-cheat kayo. Yung number ko. Lahat ng lalabas na sa PowerPoint. Hindi ako nag-invento ng lumalabas sa exam. And then yung sa mga sinasabi ko, kung nakikinig kayo, masasagot nyo yung essay. Yung ganito. Lesson 1 to here. Out to here. Pwede accomplish na lang yung lab experiment.